Hello?
Sorry, man. What's going on, man?
Not much yourself?
Oh, not too bad. Hey, just letting you know, your camera's like totally like sideways.
Oh, slanted?
No, it's on like its side. So my view, it looks like this right now.
Hey, yours is like that too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Yeah, man.
Oh.
So, how's it? Welcome back. It's been like a while since we've had a podcast. So
Yeah, how's things been?
good, good. Well, I mean, despite everything that's going on, it's you know. You know as well as I do. I mean, besides work and working out and stuff, whenever I can at home, we pretty much been doing Modern Warfare every night. So, which isn't a bad thing. Beats the time. So,
No, and that's like, I do my business and my stuff I need to do during the day, and then at night, you have that real relaxation time that sometimes is nice to sit back and relax, right? And
yeah,
some people do
absolutely.
it in different ways. Some people choose to do it gaming wise or reading. Like I like to read too, personally. I'm not
Mhm.
sure if you're big on books, but I never was. But starting to read after a while, you start to really like it.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are kind of discovering a new hobby or discovering new things that they would normally do, right?
No, exactly. It's a different world right now, definitely, but it won't last forever. And I see that the media is trying to make it feel like that, and putting everybody into a panic, um, which is never good, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is, right?
No, exactly.
But I guess I was gonna ask. I mean, now again, I talk to you like almost every day. Um, but how's the company going? I guess maybe you should like. I know that you have a company now, but maybe you should kind of talk about what it is that you do for the viewers.
So yeah, so last year I started a snow removal business. Into this year, it was very successful. I know we didn't have much snow, but those snowfalls that we did have, I was lucky and fortunate enough to have a customer base that was very excellent, and um, it kind of caught me by surprise, more or less. I didn't think I would have had a lot of people reach out to me as quick as they did, um, which is good. And another thing is you gotta be different from every other business in that, um, area, because like all the businesses now, right? Is everybody's just gonna look at who's the best price, who's the best quality of work, um, who can do it efficiently, and that's big on jobs nowadays. Somebody wants it done efficiently, cost effective, and somebody to do a good job and be reasonable with them and not rip them off. And I see like it's sad this day and age. So many people rip others off. Like it's not bad now. It's getting kind of better, I guess. But it still happens, and it's very sad that it has to
Hmm.
happen that way. Sorry, I was bouncing off subjects there.
No,
So
no, no.
the snow removal business was very good this year. I'm looking forward to the new season coming up in December there. But no, I started my construction company this year. It's not fully going, obviously. Right now, I'm just trying to get everything going with the Chatham Kent Business Center there. So what I do is have to do a business plan, which I'm pretty much almost done. I hand that in. They'll give me a course, 3-day business course, which helps me out for all the stuff I need to know and kind of speeds me up, to help me out with a lot of the stuff I need to know about the business, because there's a lot to know, man. There's a lot of things that you have to study and learn, which I've been doing over the past few years, which makes me confident to take this step and this risk. Um, and it's a big risk, but sometimes you got to do that. And if you know it's your passion and your desire, then it's easier to take that step, right? Um,
Oh, 100%. I don't think I could ever do it. I mean, I guess my mother's always called me a bit of an entrepreneur, but like, um, even at that, like, yeah, I have the ideas. Like, oh, if I won, like, I guess I don't know. You heard someone in Chatham Kent won like $75 million or something like that.
Yeah, in
Um,
Walsburg. Yeah,
that's insane. But if I won
it
that kind of
is.
money, I would definitely buy businesses. Like, my thoughts are there, but it's more like I don't know how to, like, if I bought a business, I wouldn't know how to run it. So it's nice that I think all that shit, but at the end of the day, I have no idea how I would be able to do it.
Well,
So,
Luke, it's not about you can do it, man. Anybody can do anything. That's the thing. And a lot of people get far caught by that. More or less, they just don't think they can because they don't know what they're gonna do. But it's not like I personally don't know everything I'm gonna do, but I know that I have to. You have to have a solid team. That's the biggest thing. As a solid team, only maybe 3, 4 people. Like a financial advisor. You want an accountant. You want somebody that's gonna give you advice too with the business and how to take different steps. But somebody very qualified, somebody that's had a lot of experience in that field. Because you don't want somebody new that's just gonna bullshit you, and then you make the wrong decisions, you lose a whole bunch of money, right? But anybody can do it. That's the thing. And it doesn't even you don't even have to have a lot of money to do it. Personally, it's just more of a choice, right? And that's what it comes down to with life decisions. Really, is just a choice, and anybody can make $1 million. It just comes down to, like I said, the basic principle is just the choice of you know making that decision to do it. And sometimes it's not how you do it, it's the way you do it. That's usually best thing I can describe it as, and that's what's helped me come this far. And looking forward in the future, I see a lot of good things going to happen. It's just very stressful right now because there's a lot of shit with everything going on. But you'll get through it, and I know I will get through it, and it's just part of life. There's always going to be a curveball around the corner, right?
yeah, yeah, no, yeah, like perfectly said it. Until everything kind of blows over, we're all in this together, and we have to, kind of have to sacrifice things we like or things that we want or need, and well, maybe need not so much, like, but wants for sure. Um, for myself, I haven't seen my girlfriend for like 3 or 4 weeks. Um, it is what it is. Like, I mean, there's nothing physically stopping me. Like, I mean, I could leave Chatham. Yeah, I could go visit her, but
No, I know
should
what
I
you're
be
saying.
doing that? No.
No, no, exactly.
Um, so, and I don't want to put her in risk because where I work with people. So, like, no different than nurses or doctors or PSWs. I work and support people. So, I'm putting myself at risk. Like, maybe I might not get sick, or maybe, I could have very low symptoms. But if I went to my girlfriend's and got her sick and killed her, well, I'd probably feel pretty bad about that. So, um, like, so things like that. It's just, it sucks, but you know, we all got to make sacrifices, I guess.
Well, and that's the thing. And a lot of people just sit around like they're just kind of brain fogged. And I mean, like, I get it somewhat, but there's things we can still do to be productive. Working out, for instance. Staying active in some sort of way, or doing something to better yourself each and every day. And I
Hmm.
find that's the biggest thing that's helped me over the last couple of years is learn to know who you really are as a person, know what you're capable of doing, and know that anything is possible, and look at yourself as a very beautiful person. Like, so many people are so hard on themselves, man. It's sad, and I used to be that person too, personally. But you can't be hard on yourself. You got to learn to love yourself and just love others, and want to be able to help others. And that's what society should be like, instead of you know going crazy like the Nova Scotia shooting there I seen the other day, and that's very sad. I have some family in Nova Scotia, uh, so
Hmm.
kind of worried me a little bit. But I'm glad that wasn't worse than it was, but I'm very sad to hear that there was a lot of families and everybody's upset because they've lost loved ones, and especially a police officer too lost their life at
Yeah,
working a
yeah,
job.
it's too bad. It's too bad, and I mean, I don't know if this should be taken as like it's not good, but it's like when the post went up on Facebook this morning, I don't know if it should have been taken as kind of like a little bit of comic relief, or if it should have been like um, taken more seriously. I think it's a serious situation, no doubt. I don't want to sound like an idiot here, but there was a situation that also, and this was just almost after the guy that was impersonating an officer that killed all those people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, rest in peace. Terrible what happened. Um, but there was this woman, I guess in London, I think it was London, who hijacked a EMS like vehicle and drove it into a police station. And I'm like, but I didn't read fully into it. I don't know if it was just like it was an accident and it's supposed to be like ha ha ha, yeah, it kind of happened. Like I don't know, I don't really know who would find that funny. Um, but like yeah, so all I saw was drove EMS vehicle into a police station. I'm thinking, oh fuck, like because like I don't, with everything kind of going on with everybody being locked down in the world, you can see why there's no shootings, there's no terrorist attacks, but now you're starting to see this shit happen again. And I mean, I haven't really read into the that case with the guy that was doing the shooting. I mean, anybody that goes and is going to go shoot a bunch of people, obviously isn't, right up here in the head. But like, I don't know if we're going to see more of that shit happening, just with people being in isolation, mental illness taking over, and whether they be like depressed or they got some like mental health issue and they go nuts because they can't control it, or whatever the case may be. I mean, we've seen cases in the past where there's been people that go on shootings or like so-called terrorism because of due to mental illness. Like a cousin of mine, he actually was in that one shooting at that hospital
Oh,
in New
really?
York, I think, a couple of years ago. That one guy that was, I think he used to be a doctor or a nurse or something. He got fired or something, and then he came back and started shooting at a bunch of people. Well, one of my cousins was one of the doctors at the time. Well, he was a student, I think, and he got caught in the crossfire. So, um, yeah. Anyway, so all those things have kind of happened in the past. Like, do you think we're going to see more of those incidents happening? Maybe not as so severe, but maybe in the same boat, I guess.
It's a good question, Luke. Honestly, I think it's hard to predict at this time what's going to happen. I really hope there doesn't be more tragedies and other stuff. Um, I really don't think. I mean, after this, I personally think it scared a lot of people, right? Um,
Hmm.
so I personally don't think anything else is going to happen for a long time, and I really hope it doesn't happen at all. But
Right.
like I said, it's very hard to predict, man, and that's just like with anything, right? With this COVID, um, even just business today, it's hard to predict what tomorrow is going to look like. Um,
Life
yeah,
in general, I think.
life in general too. Um, yeah, man. Yeah, I find life is there's so much good things, so many good things to life, um, and so many people don't see it. They see the negatives, or they let others' judgments or um, negativity affect them, and let others control them and control how they feel all day. When you're in control of your own self. I mean, like somebody's rude to you, I get that, but doesn't mean you have to be miserable all day because of that now, right? And so many people blame that on other people. Oh, this guy was so rude to me, so I'm just gonna be mad all day now. That's why I'm mad. And then they take it out on others, and it's like that, or business perspective. A lot of people hate on a lot of the wealthier people, and personally, I used to think that at first too. We were all born to think that, but wealth is really not that bad. You can do a lot with money in good ways, but so many people, well, some of the people, I should say, choose to use it in a bad way, which gives people that are trying to use it in a good way a bad reputation, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Um, or people that are trying to create wealth, they get frowned upon. Oh, like, why are you doing that? Are you just trying to be a rich, slob or whatever? People, have their phrase of whatever they're going to say about rich people, but in the end, it's what you really want to do with it. And I really honestly want to create charities and help people that are starving, and whatever I can do to benefit the community and even the world if I can. Personally, I don't know exactly what some of these charities may do, but I know someday it's going to happen. It's just it's going to take time. It's just like there's an old saying in China: they plant bamboo. It takes 4 years to grow, and it grows underground for 4 years. It sprouts to the top like this after that 4 years, and within, I think it was 12 hours, it shoots right up to the top. So it goes to show that's like, what I mean, is saying is if you put in that hard work, eventually in the long run, it's going to pay off, right? So if you work
Mhm.
hard now, that's going to dictate a better future for yourself in the long run. You know, it's better to work now than be, I don't even know how to rephrase this. Uh, More clustered and like rushed, at the end where you're say 70 years old, and you didn't save any money, and now you got to work until you're pretty much dead, right? It's sad to see people do that, uh, and so many people don't have that knowledge. And personally, I wish they taught you that in school, right? Like how to save, different ways of saving, um, different ways you can invest, um, how to turn debt into money. That's the biggest thing too, man. So many people are scared of debt. It's the biggest way to turn it. Debt is the biggest way to make a lot of money, man. Honestly, there's just ways of figuring it out, and there's so many ways you can do it, man. Um, Anybody can. It's just
Well,
like I said.
well, it's a pretty interesting way of thinking about that, Jared. Never really heard someone say it that way. I think we've always been pretty pampered to think that you just save, 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 and you can enjoy things when you're older. Um,
Mm-mm.
which, which I think I think there's a little bit of truth to that, and that's just how my take on life. I think for sure, like whether what you're thinking, what I'm thinking, I think for sure, like you gotta enjoy your life too. Like you can't
Yeah.
sit back and say, I can't spend it. Well, yeah,
No.
like you gotta enjoy your life a little bit, and you gotta take risks, and you gotta invest in your life. Whether that, like for me, like I want to buy a condo. Now, I could buy a house. I could buy a house, say for the same price
There's your
as a
condo. Yeah.
condo. But with a condo, I'm not worrying about all the other things I'm going to have to pay for continuously. But with a condo, say, and I mean, I don't like to look, you know, like I'm not looking at like a month down the road. I'm thinking like maybe in a year or so, like how far things go with my girlfriend. So, trying to pick my words very wisely here.
Yep.
So, like, let's say, like, I had my condo and I've had it paid for, or not paid for, but like, say if I have it and, and I decide, hey, I want to move in with my girlfriend, or we bought a house together, or whatever. I could look at that being like, okay, well, I could sell it and pay it off, or like I could sell it and pay off my loan, or like yeah, I guess my loan, or I could just look at it and be like, well, it's still an investment, even if I rent it out to people and they pay off my loan, I could keep that.
Now you're thinking. That's the thing right there is.
and continue to let people pay for it, and then even when they pay back the loan, people can continue to live there. Even say if I could be 45 at this time, and people could still be renting out that condo, and they're still, I'm still getting that, and then I'm getting that extra money on the side. So,
Now you're thinking, buddy. That's the thing, right? Or you
so
you live there until it's paid off, then you go buy a house. Like you
or
could
that too, yeah.
buy a house, keep your condo, and then use that to rent out to pay for your mortgage for your house. Because your condo's already paid off, and then you just got to pay off your house. So you're using some of that rent income from the guy that's renting your condo to pay for some of the, costs of your house and whatever you got to, do to pay your mortgage and stuff.
Hmm.
That's always a good option.
Yeah, yeah. And that's kind of a thing I thought of because plus, I don't really need a house myself. I mean, it would be nice, you get all that space, but I mean, if we're talking, I'm just by myself. I don't really need it. Um, so a condo is really all I need. And I mean, even at that, even when I am living in a condo, if I can get a 2-bedroom apartment, I mean, you get a place like even like the campus. Um, those apartments by the campus over there by St. Clair. I mean, you get college kids that you're guaranteed you're gonna get a college kid almost every season. So, and they're gonna want a place to live, so they're gonna pay the money whatever you charge them, or they're gonna
Yeah.
pay the rent for whatever you charge them. So things like that I've been thinking about. But and that's probably my first investment that I'm really getting into. And I think it's a good start. It kind of
And
helps me learn about how to spend money, but then gain money. And,
it gives you kind of more knowledge
yeah.
too in the real estate aspect of it too, right?
Mm.
That's a big thing too. Is eventually I'm going to build a nice real estate portfolio and grow it pretty big. It's just going to take time. So what my main thing is I'm going to have my construction company more as my like day-to-day job, right? Because that's something I love to do, man. And when you love to do something, it's not even a job, right? You just show up and it's more just like a playground, right? You just, you can do anything. Um, I'll do that probably 5, 6, 7 years before I start. It's hard to say though. Like with time, you know, things will I'll be able to see things a lot clearer. But I'm not at that step yet, obviously. It's just kind of getting out of this economy thing that's going on. But I'm not going to let that stop me, man. That's the thing. Even if this COVID-19 continues all year, it's not going to stop me from, accomplishing my goal that I've always wanted to do as a child. And
Hmm.
yeah,
That's good, man. That's awesome. Yeah, so we kind of touched upon about you and starting the company and whatnot. So I guess one more question about that before I move on to what I was going to ask you as well.
yeah, of
Uh,
course.
so with the company, obviously it's construction, so I'm not going to be like, oh, what are you going to do? But I
No,
guess
you can
what?
touch base on that subject too.
Oh, okay. So when you talk about construction, what would you be more like? What would
Focusing
be
on.
more the focus of like?
Um,
What kind of work would you be more inclined to do? Because I mean, you got like, and I don't want to like name too many construction places in general. But you get like Clark, and I know they do the roads. I think.
See, they're a lot bigger. They're in road construction, yeah. So they do
Yeah. So
all
they're
like,
more. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I've worked for them. They're a very good company. Um, but no, I'm gonna do more small residential jobs to start because I think that's where my strong suit's gonna be. Because that's where more
Right.
you learn. Your biggest learning curve is the smaller jobs, right? You can take your time. You're not as rushed. Bigger jobs, you're rushed. You have to have a certain day. It's got to be done, right? And then even you have to count in the rain days. So if it rains, bigger projects, you're gonna have to adjust the numbers a little bit, and you're gonna lose a little bit of money, right? But if you're on a residential job, say it's 2, 3 days, you can probably nail that out, no
Hmm.
problem. Uh, but no, so my main focus for right now is water services, general digging projects, consuming of different things, delivery of material or removal of any material, or Also remove like landscape features or rocks or stuff. Um, Delivery of material. A lot of people have been asking me about that. That's like mulch, rock, stone, whatever anybody needs. Um, Obviously, I would only charge a small fee, so like the customer would just pay for the rock and then just my delivery fee, which wouldn't usually be too much. I know that like I've looked at the Glass House and what they charge is a little bit pricey compared to what I can charge. So you just kind of oddball the numbers a little bit to see what you can make too. And I know what I need to pay each month to keep everything afloat. So that's always one thing you have to have in mind is what your costs are going to be. Um, so yeah, I was removing landscape features, installing ponds because I've done that a couple times. It's really nice. It's easy job. Depends though, size obviously, right? If it's a bigger
Mhm.
pond, it's going to take a lot more time. Depends what they want in it. Some people want bubbling rock and all that fancy stuff. So yeah, things take time, but um, and yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I mean, more just a lot of the general digging projects, and you can do a lot of stuff, right? Um, Mini excavators, a lot of people don't realize are very handy, especially like they can get in a lot of between houses, very tight spaces, man. Obviously not that. That's pretty small, but
Mhm.
I'm, I think you can get in a 4 foot, yeah, 4.5 foot gap. Some of those things because they range in size, right?
Right.
So, yeah, that's a big thing too. Is I've looked at getting equipment, and it's just like I said, COVID. As soon as that kind of clears up, I get finished my business thing with a business center. Um,
Right.
it's nice that they're helping me out. Chatham's very good for that, helping out small businesses. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity they gave me. Um, but yeah, man, it's gonna be tough here and there, but I'm ready for it. That's part of the thrill I find is there's something always gonna happen that's not gonna go your way all the time, but
Right.
yeah,
Well, it's
it's
all
kind of
right.
tough.
As of right now, things are okay right now. I guess like that's something that my mother always tells me. Like things aren't great. I mean, it sucks that you want to move forward with your business. I want to move forward with moving out. Um, Finally. Um, but at the same time, it sucks. But I mean, everything's okay right now. We're both healthy. We try to stay half glass full, I guess. And but yeah, right now things might not be where you want it to be right now, but you know what? Everything's okay. We're
That's
both
right.
healthy, like I said, and but that's exciting plans for you. I'm excited for you. I'm excited to see what I'm gonna see because I mean you're my buddy, and I don't really have any friends that have like a business or anybody that has like a anything big like that. Like I think everyone that I'm friends with has a job, obviously, but like um, not anybody that's ever had a business. So it'd be kind of cool to be like, oh man, like you want to do my backyard, like. Um, but yeah, that's pretty sweet. I was just gonna ask you too. So I think we were chit chatting over on Modern Warfare a couple times about like gym and how it's kind of affecting us. So for you, like, have you been able to get any workouts in, or what have you done to as a supplement?
Yeah, like I have a home gym, so it's kind of nice that I can still have that equipment access. It, by all means, it's not like the fancy brand new stuff. It's stuff I've had for over the years, but
Mhm.
it works, and that's all I can use for now. And I'm grateful for it, that I have that because I think majority of the people don't even have any workout equipment, man. And a lot of people are going to be, struggling when they get back in that gym, but that's no way to give up, and it's gonna I'm gonna be, excited to see who actually commits to coming back and pushing through because I think a lot of people after this are gonna give up, man. I'm gonna guarantee a lot of people are just gonna say screw this.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's gonna be like that 3%. There'll be like 3 or 4% of people that work hard at it and will I don't, anybody that doesn't have the proper equipment, I cannot honestly believe that they're going to stay in the tip top shape that they were before everything happened. Like for myself, I know I can guarantee right now that I'm not going to be in the same shape as I was when I
When you
gym.
left the gym, the last year.
Yeah.
I agree.
Like I don't think that I'm gonna put on any pounds by any means. I just don't think that I'm gonna have the same tone in the muscle that I was. And I mean, just I'm getting good arm workouts. I'm getting good like chest in terms of like doing push-ups and things like that. I mean, those are push-ups are great. Like sit-ups are great. A lot of those core body workouts are great, but we're not used to you having all the machines and having all the dumbbells that you want and having all the access to different things. Like especially my squats. My squats will be gone. Like the strength there is gonna be gone. I was doing 355. Like my bench press strength will be gone. Even though I'm doing push like maybe with the push-ups it might not be as bad, but even at that it's a totally different ball game doing push-ups versus bench pressing for sure. But even with my deadlifts will be gone because like the barbell I got at home and with the weights I have, it's still not enough.
No.
It's so light compared to what I'm used to. Like I just broke 305 before everything till before the storm started. Um, so it is what it
That's
is.
pretty good, man. Hard work.
But I think like I can keep my typical. I won't look as like pristine. I guess the word I want to use is pristine versus good.
It's
Uh,
more not even that, man. It's like when you go to the gym every day, even like twice a day, you always have that pump, man. Your veins are always pumped up. Everything's
yeah,
always swole. But when you're like right now, it's like it's not like that, right? It's like I agree with what you're saying. You're not going to look the same, right?
yeah. Well, I don't know. It sucks. Like I'm still getting good cardio. Like I mean, you can do all the cardio you want. Like, and I'm doing different cardio too. Like now I'm doing 35-minute runs. Well, jog. Like I'm not running my ass the whole time, but 35-minute jog for sure. And I wasn't at the gym. I wouldn't do that because it was boring doing that on the treadmill. Um, like now versus that and hit cardio. The hit cardio I'm having a problem with. That's so much harder to do outside. I hate doing it. And also for the fact like with our weather too, it's so unpredictable at this time. Just like I mean, like you look at it, like last week or something, it was nice, and then it got cold, and it kind of got nice one day. Now it's cold again. So even with that, I mean, it's what with the weather being unpredictable, it's hard to even do your cardio. Um, and it's just it sucks for me. I'm really upset because I put so much work into, and I mean I can't take all the credit. I had a coach helping me out, getting me to that point, but I mean the actual physical, I guess mental work too. For me, like I put in so much work. Like I worked my ass off to get to where I was, and then it's like this shit happens, and it's like here we go back to square one. But I mean, like if I can avoid putting on the fat mass, then that'd be great because in that way I'm okay. Maybe I lost some muscle, or I just lost a little bit of that tone, or just don't feel as strong as I was. But at least I don't have to lose the fat again and then put on the muscle. And so
No,
uh,
that's
in terms of that, I mean, at least I'm not at that point right now, and I haven't
no,
given. So
no, and it all depends on your diet, man. If you're keeping track of your diet, and you're staying consistent with it, you're gonna have no issues, right?
and that's just it.
That's the
I mean,
biggest thing.
some
A
people
lot of
are saying
people
out
right
here.
now, a lot of people now are just going crazy with the desserts and shit. You know, I don't know.
Dude, it's
Personally,
hard. I mean, when you're bored, it's hard.
I'm guilty of it too. I guess I went to Superstore, spent over two. You have to spend over $250 or something like that. I spent over that. They gave me a free like box of it was like this big a box of Cadbury stuff, like eggs, chocolates,
Oh
and stuff
yeah.
on it. I'm like, nah, I won't touch it. No, threw it in the cupboard, right? I'm like, and I started looking at it. And within a week, dude, I polished that whole box. I was like, there goes like 4,000, 5,000 calories gone.
Gonzo, yeah, man.
But like I try to make up for that. Like I have over 2 acres of yard here, so it's good to kind of just run in the yard. I mean, like there's a park down the road, obviously too, but I mean, if you can run in your own yard, why not take advantage of that, right? Because a lot of people can't. So
Oh, 100%. You know, I guess I was watching a video about this guy, and he talks about, oh, you can do all the cardio all you want, and do this and this, but it's not gonna burn your belly fat. And I had to tilt my head like, what? Um, and I guess like I understand what he's trying to say. I think it's not a totally bad thing that people have desserts. Um, it's not. I don't think. And when he was trying to explain, and I think he was playing another way. So when I went through the whole video, I kind of understood. I'm like, okay, now I kind of get what he's saying. Kind of like my whole philosophy on fitness. So he was talking about how you should pick your food at the right moment versus worrying about your calories and macros, which I can't fully agree with that point. I think, or no, not I think I know with calories and macros and all that shit. There you go. I was gonna say I've been tilting my head the whole time.
oh, sorry, bud.
It feels like I needed the tilting my head the whole time, but yeah, with all that kind of stuff, it does. I mean, your calories do matter. I mean, if you're cutting your fat or trying to cut your fat and trying to keep your muscle, you want your calories to be high, but you don't want it to be like, if there's no reason for you to have 3,000 calories per day, you shouldn't be having 3,000 calories per day. It's not probably going to help you very much. But that being said, you don't want to be, oh, I need to cut fat loss, I'm going to do 1,200 calories a day. No, that's not reasonable. I mean, if you try to keep a certain balance of calories, you're probably going to be okay. But going back to what I was saying about how to eat your food, I mean, you got to really think about how, like, everybody understands that you got to have your protein and your carbs after workout. Everyone knows that. But what a lot of people don't know is, like, actually it's not bad to have sugar after your workouts. That was actually one of the first meals I was ever given for a post-workout meal. It was cereal. It was any kind of kid cereal I wanted. Not a whole lot, but just enough to kind of, that it tasted good. With I think I had a shake with blueberries in it, and that was my first meal, and it was amazing. I loved it. Um, and so things like that, you think about that. When I was told, when my coach was telling me, "Oh, yeah, I want you to eat that after your workout," I'm thinking, "Get the fuck out of here, man!" Like, not literally, but like I'm thinking, "What?" And and I was like, "Yeah, I don't like. How does that make any sense?" But I was like, "Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna listen to him." And surely enough, I started losing my weight. I'm like, I just couldn't believe that. It's like I just never really thought. And he's like, no, it's good to have a little bit of sugar after your workout, especially if a hard workout, especially like even leg days. Um, even leg days, I think, are really good because you're depleting yourself. That's why people feel so exhausted after leg days, because it's biggest muscle in your body, your legs and your glutes, and and even after leg days, I mean, and then also on top of doing your cardio, I mean, you're whipped. So sugar is never a bad thing. For anybody that's ever wondering about health and fitness, that's why, like, so when you're talking about people like getting, eating a lot of desserts during this quarantine, I don't think it's a totally bad thing if you want to enjoy yourself. Like, say, like, I guess I'll use this for example at my place. Like, my mom's been cooking desserts. Like, she just made apple crisp tonight, and I'm like, oh my god. I mean,
So hard.
I'm not gonna have any. I'm not gonna die if I don't get any. Like, I'm okay with not having any. But I looked at him like, fuck me. Oh, I want some so bad, and then she made some other stuff the other day. So I was like, okay, I really want some. It's probably not a whole lot of sugar in it, but if I'm gonna use my sugar, I'm gonna add a little bit to my post workout. So that's kind of like what I mean. Like you try to pick your diet according to what you're doing. So you shouldn't really pound the sugar late at night, and you probably shouldn't be pounding it. You shouldn't be really pounding it any time of the day, especially like not natural, like processed sugar. Like you probably shouldn't be having it any time of the day. But if you're gonna do it after workouts, after hard workouts, are probably your best bet. I mean, of course, if you're gonna have a cheap meal and there's gonna be sugar involved, I mean, enjoy it. You know, like that's your meal of the week. Enjoy it. But yeah, I mean, it's hard. It's hard. I think it's hard for a lot of people because people are bored, and there's some people that aren't working at all. Like, I mean, I'm working. However, I mean, I'm not working as much as I was. Like, I mean, I can remember I was doing like 40 hours every week. Not obviously not just right with community living, but also with my contracts on the side. So I was used to gym, gym, work, go with my girlfriends here and there, work, gym, work, gym. Like I was all over the place. Um, so now it's feeling a little bit different, but I try not to kind of let boredom take over my diet, I guess. So I understand it's really hard for a lot of people.
No, exactly. I agree with you totally. But like you said, it's not too bad in moderation, right? Um, just depending what moderation is to some people, right? It varies to person.
Yeah, I mean in moderation, just pounded back like five slices of apple crisp this morning, but it's all good. Got my fruits in this morning, but I don't know. Like how's the dieting going for you? I guess.
Amazing. Um, Although the other night, so I got salmon from Superstore. I usually get it from Sobeys, and I had some last night. I sent you a picture because it turned out good.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
I
it
woke
did
up at
look
like
good.
I didn't feel good last night. Remember? Because you I was messaging around like 8:30,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
was
You're
like,
like,
I'm
oh,
going to bed.
good headache. I'm like, fuck, because I was so pumped to play Modern Warfare last night, but I was like, I can play it tomorrow night.
Yeah, my bad, buddy. But no,
Oh,
yeah, I
that's
woke
okay.
up at like 3 o'clock, and I knew I had food poisoning, man. It's just yeah, pretty
Hmm.
much in and out of the bathroom all day. I started getting better right by lunchtime, but other than that, no, like my dieting has been perfect. I don't know if it was just something in the salmon, like it wasn't expired, so I'm trying to think. Like I don't know, I cooked it 100%, so it's hard to say what exactly happened there. So I'm just gonna take a break from that for now and just stick to like my tuna and all my other stuff.
Now, obviously, you're having like the canned tuna, right?
Oh yeah, but I get the solid white tuna. It's a little more expensive, but it's
Yeah, it
like
is.
the best, healthiest tuna you can get, pretty much.
I mean, I don't
Let
think
me
the canned
rephrase
stuff
that, like
is
not the
terrible
best,
though.
healthiest, but what's that?
I don't, I don't think the canned stuff is terrible.
No, I don't think it's like too
It's
bad for
just
you
it's
as
just
far
got
as
a lot of sodium in it. That's what it
yeah,
is.
that's what doesn't have sodium in it, right? Um,
Yeah, that's true.
no, yeah, dieting's been pretty good. Just trying to keep up with my water, almost trying to get about a gallon a day. I don't know about you.
Oh, it's so hard to get your water in. Like
Yeah,
unless
yeah,
it's
you're telling me.
unless if it's my workouts, dude, it's so hard to get your water in. But
Hang on, let me just put this down for a second. Just grabbing a drink. Yeah, so I'm just using my iPad. I think next time I'm going to use the laptop. Our next podcast, I think it'd be better.
well, yeah, man, because I really want to tilt my head the whole freaking time. I'm like, oh, I wanted to like pause you one time, and be like, Chair, please, you got to move your camera over. But it's all good.
No, I thought you were on an angle at first, but no, it was my iPad like this, right? So,
Yeah, that's all
no,
right.
no worries.
It's all good.
But no, I'm gonna look into eventually getting a little mic and stuff too. It's good, even Skyping for business and stuff eventually. If that's
100%.
a lot of the stuff is going that way, right? A lot of
Hmm.
face audio and
Yeah.
no, but it'd be good to see you blow up too. Man. It's possible too with this generation. you can go very far with YouTube. It's just you got to be committed to it, right? I don't know if that's your big goal on that. Like I kind of watched your other podcast with Ryan there, and you were kind of touching base on some of the subject, saying that you weren't too concerned about it, but it just depends on how life goes, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing. Work's always going to come first, and then obviously your play. But I find I don't like to like, and I just realized this not too long ago, maybe a couple months ago. Um, when you do something you love very much, you're very passionate about, and something that feels it's not like a job, right? Wouldn't you love to do that and get paid lots of money for it?
Well, I mean, I
So
do enjoy working with people, but there's
okay,
gonna be parts of your job that you're not going to like as well. Like I don't, I like my job, but there's days where like yeah, I get burnt out working with people. Like I there's days where I need a day off because I'm just exhausted, mentally and emotionally and physically. Um, like.
I
But
kind of see.
I enjoy working with people that I work with. Um, like I enjoy the things that come with the job, whether that be, I mean, I can't say with any other job that I get to take guys to hockey games, and like I took a guy to a Spitfires game, and so that's pretty sweet. I mean, that's not a typical shift for me, but it's something that it's like wow, like I get to do that. So um, things like that. I enjoy my job for sure.
No, that's good, and I'm glad to hear that. Like it's good to see people enjoy their jobs. And the biggest thing people don't realize is business is not for everybody, man. Only the 10% of the population, 10% of the people out of the whole population start a business. And out of that 10%, some obviously are gonna fail, but I think we all fail at different things in life. It's not really. I don't even count it as a failure. A failure is more when you give up on something. That's a failure, I find. A lot of people are just saying, a failure is if you can't do something, but no, a failure is if you give up on something. Like if you've done something, it didn't work out, but then you give up on it and you don't try again. That's a failure. What a lot of people don't realize is just like that thing. I don't know if you've seen that picture on social media. They show the guy's like with the pickaxe and he's picking through that gold rock, like the gold mine or whatever. And he's mining and he's so tired. And it showed if he would have picked, like just thrown one more pick, that he would have been at there was gold and diamonds and stuff behind that wall.
Yeah,
If he
I
would
think
have
I
just
saw
took that
that.
one more swing before giving up, you know what I mean? A lot of people are at that stage in life. They're so
Mhm.
they're so close, and they just give up, man. And it's not even sometimes because of them; it's because of others. So people are like, "You're not going to do that," and I get a lot of that. I use people's negativity as positive energy. I don't know if that makes sense to you. Like a lot of people kind of look at me like, "What?" And I'm like, "No, that's how I move forward in life every day." Um, and do things that I really love to do. I'm not here to impress anybody. That's the thing for you know a lot of people need to realize is that sometimes people that start businesses are not there to impress. It's more they're doing something they enjoy doing and they can make a lot of money doing it eventually. It's not going to be overnight. And that's what a lot of people think is, oh, I can start a business, make $1 million overnight. It's not going to happen, man. And that's just with anything, though, right? Like you can't plant a seed in the ground and it grow overnight. So yeah, everything just takes time, and that's like with you and getting your situation with moving out and the condo and stuff. It's all going to take time, right? But it's all going to work out, Luke. And that's with anybody. Everything's always going to work out. It's just how you look at that and how you perceive that vision that you're seeing, you know. So
100%,
yeah.
man. I respect that. We're kind of getting close on the time here, but I just want to thank you for coming on, man. And it's always been a pleasure. always.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. I appreciate you having me on here.
And
Look forward to having another one.
100%. I just wanted to tell everyone, please check out Jared's Instagram, his business Instagram, as well. It's on Facebook. Jared, you can do the honors.
Oh, yeah. So my business is J Bond Construction, and I also have J Bond Snow Removal. It's on Facebook, and I also have them on Instagram as well. So yeah, feel free to check me out. Also give Luke a like and a subscribe, and yeah, it'd be awesome.
Thanks, brother.